Why we use steroid injections. The hidden key to freedom from opioids and real metabolic recovery. Imagine you're 350 pounds, diabetic, and hooked on high-dose oxycodone, barely functioning. You've tried diets, pills, and promises. Then one clinic tells you, we're not just going to manage your pain, we're going to reverse the root cause. And the first thing they do, they stick a needle in your back. Sounds backwards? It's not. This is the real function of steroid injections, and the system doesn't want you to know how powerful they can be. Betty's journey, from dependency to autonomy. Oh, meet Betty. 56. She came to us trapped in a cycle. 90 milligram equivalents of morphine per day of oxycodone, uncontrolled type 2 diabetes requiring insulin, and weighing over 350 pounds. She wasn't just in pain, she was losing her life to it. But we didn't just write another script. We implemented a precision strategy. Step 1. Targeted interventions, epidural steroid injections, and radiofrequency ablation to blunt the inflammatory drivers of her chronic pain. These weren't temporary fixes. They bought her space. Space to move, to breathe, to hope. Then came the structure, a ketogenic nutrition plan to halt insulin surges, behavioral coaching to tackle habits and trauma, and gradual opioid tapering protocols. The result? Over 140 pounds lost in 16 months. Insulin injections discontinued. Oxycodone reduced from 90 milligram equivalents of morphine per day to 32.5 milligram equivalents of morphine per day. And her pain? Significantly better, because we treated the source. Injections are strategic, not superficial. Too often, steroid injections get dismissed as band-aids, but the data says otherwise. Lumbar radiculopathy. ESIs reduce pain and opioid demand significant chronic post-surgical pain. Up to 50% reduction in opioid use with proper injection protocol. Perioperative settings. Faster recovery and fewer narcotics when steroid injections are part of the plan. These aren't last-ditch efforts. They're first-line targeted relief, especially when used inside multimodal frameworks. Why policy and insurance get this wrong? Now here's the problem. Insurance companies and some government bodies label these procedures as low-value care. Why? Because they cost more upfront. But they don't consider what happens when these tools are withheld. More opioid scripts, more ER visits, more surgical referrals, more addiction and disability. One opioid dependency costs the healthcare system over $60,000 per year, while a $300 to $900 injection that helps someone like Betty avoid that path. That's high value no matter what the spreadsheet says, what the guidelines actually say. Let's be clear, this isn't off-label speculation. The CDC, HHS, and interventional pain societies all recommend non-opioid interventional therapies as first steps. Steroid injections. Before opioid escalation, structured opioid tapering, using adjunctive procedures, multimodal protocols, combining injections, rehab, and psychological support. But fragmented coverage and outdated policy frameworks often block patients like Betty from getting timely access to this care. Pain isn't just physical, it's biochemical and behavioral. Betty didn't just lose weight and taper meds, she changed her biology. Her insulin resistance reversed, her inflammation markers dropped, her mental clarity returned, and every step of that transformation required reducing her pain enough so she could participate in her own recovery. Steroid injections weren't the cure, they were the catalyst. If you're a patient battling chronic pain, know this. Steroid injections aren't about masking pain, they're about creating opportunity to move, to change, to heal. If you're in policy or insurance, stop thinking in quarters and start thinking in outcomes. Betty's transformation wasn't a miracle. It was protocol-driven, evidence-based care that your system still resists. And if you're a provider, fight for your patients, advocate for coverage. Demand that value be measured not by cost, but by lives reclaimed.